Sometimes the boat life is all about problem solving, chores, repairs, and projects. Other times, it can be all about fun. But usually, it's neither all work nor all play. We are really intentional about creating balance in our life here at the Marina. Today, we're going to give you a glimpse into what the typical weekend looks like here aboard Sea Y'all.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Sea Y'all Life. I'm Andrea, this is Tom, and we have 2 pups. We're a couple of Texas transplants living the empty nest life to the fullest. For us, that's living part-time on our 44-foot DeFever trawler in San Diego. Our hope is that as you join us on our dreams and adventures, we'll inspire you to discover your own.
On a typical weekend morning aboard Sea Y'all, I clean, organize, shop, and prepare meals. Tom can usually be found working on a boat project, and that's exactly what he's doing today. So what's going on down here?
I like a dry bilge, and I was working on some plumbing a few weeks ago, and got water in the bilge and don't like it because it just sits there. So after using the pump, I'm using a wet vac to get the remaining bit up.
While Tom works on his boat projects, I usually start preparing for lunch and dinner. I love to cook and share meals with our Marina friends. Today we're going to be working on a little project that's going to make my time in the kitchen a little bit easier.
You got a project for me?
I'm sort of excited about this one. Cool little spice rack. It's magnetic. We were going to hang it in a cabinet, but I wouldn't be able to put as many spices onto the magnetic piece. So we're going to put it in the kitchen. It's not going to be in a cabinet. It's going to be a little out of the way, and it's going to be super accessible. We've got the spice rack we're going to mount, and we just have to get some holes in this thing in order to mount it. I'm super excited about the new spice rack because it's going to save me a lot of space. So it's very cool. It came with the piece of a magnetic board that we mounted, and then it came with all these jars that have a magnet on the back. The project was a little messy, but I love the finished product. It's got little shakers. It's got holes on the side for you to shake, or it has a bigger hole where you can pour. Pretty cool. And bam, she's done. Check this out. I love it. There's actually a couple more I can add later. And see, it just comes up, sticks back on, and it's really convenient right by my induction stove. By mounting the spice rack, I'm going to free up all the space in this little shelf for other things.
Beautiful sunny day here in San Diego in the mid-70s. Feels like summer. Time for a boat ride. Some pre-check stuff down here in the engine room. Turn both the port and starboard engine controls on. Check the fluids before every trip. That's a must. Super important to also check the belts for tension and make sure everything's clear from the pulleys and the belts to make sure nothing gets sucked in, since we use this as a storage room and have tools down here and everything. Ready to go.
When we're ready to get underway, the first thing Tom does is to disconnect the shore power, the 30-amp power cord, along with the cable for our internet. Then he heads to the lines. He starts with the starboard aft line, works his way around the boat, and then we're ready to shove off. Before we head out on the water, there are a number of things we have to do to get ready here on the boat. While Tom works outside to disconnect the power and the lines, I work on prepping the inside. I take all the bottles off the bar, and I secure any vases or other items that could fall or break while we're underway. Going out today? Sea Y'all has twin engines, also called twin screws. Tom maneuvers the boat out of the slip with both engines in reverse, and once we clear the slip, he starts using both engines to turn the boat to the starboard side, and we're ready to go.
after we pull out of the marina, we almost always see one of the 3 West Coast to Ecuador Dole ships. The vessels are almost 2 times the length of a football field. When the ships arrive, they carry 760 refrigerated containers and 60 million bananas. I call it the pineapple boat, but only about 20% of each shipment is actually pineapples. It is quite the spectacle to watch the cranes on the ship move the loads to the waiting trucks.
Where are we headed?
We're headed under the Coronado Bay Bridge to destinations unknown.
Off in the distance beyond Coronado Island, you can see cruise ships that have been at anchor on and off since the beginning of the pandemic. They periodically head to the port of San Diego to refuel and provision for the 100 or so crew members on board.
Diego on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, about 74 degrees, not a cloud in the sky.
But it is February the something. It's the 21st. How is this February anywhere? And, okay, now that I mentioned it's February 21st, everyone in Texas, I love you. I love you, and I'm sorry that I just mentioned.
Yeah, it's snowing everywhere else. There's a sheet of ice covering all 49 states, or maybe 48. I think Hawaii's okay. And maybe Florida, so maybe 47 states. But we're good here.
We love taking sea yacht out on the San Diego Bay. Today we simply cruise, but frequently we anchor out in Glorieta Bay by Coronado Island, or we dock and dine at one of the many bayfront restaurants. Headed back in. There's no wind. Not a great day for sailboats. Beautiful day for the cruisers though. Just how smooth the water is. Tom went from skippering a 32-foot bayliner, our first boat, to this 44-foot, 44,000-pound boat. He does an amazing job of maneuvering sea yacht into the slip. It takes a lot of practice and patience. Our beam is wide and we only have about 6 inches on either side of the boat. He takes into consideration the wind and the current, and he lines it up the best he can. After having sea yacht for almost 3 years, I think he's an old pro. So this is the space between the dock and the boat. Captain Tommy did well.
Salt water off. It's important to have lines coiled so people don't trip on them and keep everything ship shape.
By evening, we finished our boat chores and it's time to relax with a sundowner or gather with friends. For us, these weekends are simply perfect. To work together and play together in our shared empty nest passion. Who knew that Act 2 of our married life could be this fulfilling and fun? If you have questions about the liveaboard life, be sure to drop them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you'll be notified when our next episode drops. We thank you for joining us on the journey, and we'll see y'all soon.